Signal crayfish present a huge impact and risk for fisheries and waters around the UK. So they're known as ecosystem engineers, so they completely change the system where they invade. They're very aggressive, they'll predate on young juvenile fish and eggs, other invertebrates, you result in a loss of that habitat and food source as well. And where they have invaded, you often find there's a decrease in the fish numbers and populations. Hi, my name's Emily Smith. I'm the Environment Manager at the Angling Trust, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the invasive species Signal Crayfish. So when I mention invasive non-native species, this is often the one that anglers have heard about or know about and have come across. But for those that don't know the impact of this species or want to know how to ID it, then this is the video for you. And they're now quite widespread in the UK, but there are still pockets of the native white-clawed species. That's why it's really important to know and be able to tell the difference between the invasive and our native crayfish populations. And so the way to do this is there are some key collective features that you can look out for. So if you're walking along and you come across a crayfish, you bear these in mind and you can think, yep, okay, I'm pretty confident that's the one I'm looking at. So the first one is to look at the claws. So on the underside of signal crayfish, they're often red in colour, and then in the hinges they have a white kind of colour within there. This is more obvious on the larger individuals, but straight away if you're identifying those features, you can start to narrow in and feel more confident about what you're looking at. The second thing to look for is at the back of the head. So you'll see there's two small bumps. The second one might be a lot smaller, but this won't be present on a white-clawed crayfish. And the final thing to look for, again on the back of the head towards the body, is to look at the kind of texture of the species. So for signal crayfish, it'll be completely smooth, whilst for white-clawed crayfish, it'll have more ridges and some kind of uneven kind of texture to it. So collectively adding that together, those four features, bear in mind, you can think, I'm quite certain that this is signal crayfish. However, bear in mind, if a species has recently molted or if it's quite a small individual, these can be hard to spot. So there might be that uncertainty that remains within there. So if you think you've come across a signal crayfish, what should you do? So firstly, you should report it using the iRecord app or the website. So take a photo and note your location and upload that on there. Just the local landowners and other agencies can know that that is present. And a key thing that you should also do, and should always do whenever you're out on the water, is follow, check, clean, dry. So this is just 3 very easy steps that you should use for your boots and for any kit that's come in contact with water. So the first one is to check your boots and your nets and just remove any plant material, any mud material, and leave it at the bank. Secondly is clean, so using hot water ideally if you can, because that will kill off any things that might be in the nooks and crannies of your wellies or in the nets. Use that, thoroughly clean it, either at the fishery that they have those facilities, or do that when you get home. And finally, leave it out to dry. So this should be in sunlight, leave it for 48 hours, dry it out, gives it the final whack, and then all your kit and boots are safe again to use at another site. Finally, if you're interested in managing these species, you can look into trapping. However, it's important you have a licence to undertake this. The rules around licences changed in 2019, so it's really important to get up to date, go to the government website and just make sure that you are aware of those changes. But if you want to undertake any trapping in England or across the country, you need to have a licence from the Environment Agency. Furthermore, you now need to kill any signal crayfish that you capture within the trap. You cannot return any to the water. Look up for that and other changes by going to that website to find out more. Thank you.